Up next on Connections, digging for data to develop solutions. We'll look at CTA's new approach to improving operations and service for customers, the performance management process. A new and positive presence on the platform, students who are spending the summer keeping trains cleaner and fresher. Technology and training, working together to prevent accidents. We'll look at a new program. We'll take you down under to see the work underway to eliminate slow zones. And you'll meet two behind-the-scenes CTA workers who are honored for being the best. The CTA, working hard to improve, committed to quality and its riders. Welcome to Connections. The CTA, delivering quality, affordable transit that links people, jobs, and communities. I'm Jean Sparrow. Welcome to Connections. It's something every successful business enterprise does on a constant basis. Top people asking, what is the root of the problem and how do we fix it? As the CTA and its customers are discovering, the new performance management process is helping to isolate the problems and develop solutions.
We cannot afford train delays. It kills us on ridership. It frustrates people.
This is a performance management meeting. It may look like it's just another meeting, but it's not. It's a productive, fluid, rapid-fire exchange of hard data and innovative ideas.
Performance management is designed to be a tool that helps us change the culture within the CTA and focus people on results.
Performance management is a way of making sure that you're basing your decisions and your actions around data. Based on the data that we have, what can we measure or what can we say about the customer's experience on our system?
Weekly performance management meetings began in May. Departments on the front line of customer service are the first to meet.
We started with what we understood to be the four most customer-facing areas. Obviously, the buses that we ride, the trains that we ride, the stations that we have to encounter on a daily basis, and then construction.
A color-coded matrix system is used to measure progress.
Depending on how you're doing compared to your target, you're either red, not meeting it, yellow, close, but within range, in green, you're doing great. I'll tell you what, there's a lot of red on there, which is not a bad thing because it means that we're actually looking at what matters.
And as we track that, it simultaneously allows us to then hold managers accountable to ensuring that we're meeting the standards that are established through this performance management process.
There is a lot of accountability in it, and so while I wouldn't say it's if you don't bring the accidents down 50%, we're going to fire you, it is Garage Manager X, I'm looking at your garage right now and it's doing the worst. How do you explain this? Or you have the most lost days due to absenteeism. What are you doing to manage absenteeism in your garage?
Performance management is about more than analysis and accountability. It's about action too, streamlining policies and procedures to get quick results. A bus breaks down on Michigan Avenue. It used to be a CTA crew would try and restart the bus right there on Michigan. Now the bus is immediately towed to a less congested area.
That allows the traffic flow to be much less impacted, both for buses, but also for all those people who are driving instead of taking public transportation, cabs, public safety vehicles, etc.
The CLASS initiative is another performance management byproduct. CLASS stands for Clean, Lit, and Safe Stations. Stations are scrubbed, painted, and brightened, all in a few weeks' time. Performance management is also producing cleaner buses and trains.
There was a couple policy changes, there were some staffing changes. That is something I think our customers are going to begin to see. I've actually been on red lines the past couple days that are so clean, I can't even believe it.
People expect to see their trains and their buses cleaner because we have a more systematic way to track it. We have a more systematic way to identify when we're not cleaning equipment properly and make sure that we take corrective action.
And when there are major construction projects underway and buses and trains are rerouted, there will be better notification. Performance management analysis shows CTA customers want more information more often, and the CTA wants more information from its customers too.
So not only will we be looking at our internal measures, but we're also developing measures which will be feedback directly from the customer. so that they'll be able to tell us whether they think what we're doing is making things better at the CTA or making things worse. And we're going to be using that feedback and tying it into everything we do.
The process needs to be in place, and we're creating that process to make sure that that information is actually, ends up with a result, with an action associated with it. And we'll get there.
CTA Performance Management is analyzing data constantly, and customer feedback is not only considered, it's encouraged. If you have any ideas or suggestions on how to make the CTA run more smoothly, please send them to this email address, feedback@transitchicago.com. Next time you're riding a CTA train, don't be surprised if it seems a little cleaner or smells a little fresher. That's because since midsummer, teams of Chicago students have been working hard to keep CTA trains nice and tidy. They search and sweep, wash and wipe, clean and collect. And these kids are becoming a positive presence on the platform. There are more than 200 students participating in an extension of the Mayor's Kids Start Jobs program.
Kids Start program was an initiative by President Ron Huberman when he came in, taking an existing city program and expanding it to CTA. It allows us, in terms of CTA, to take 200 plus kids and give them a summer work experience in which they learn some basic work skills, basic life skills about holding a job, coming to work on time, being prepared to work on time, being committed to work.
Working with other people, people appreciate that. CTA, other people, it's a nice experience.
After what we've done, the trains look and appear a lot cleaner, and people appreciate neatness.
We took the teens and we gave them a 4-hour training session. And even prior to that, when we hired them in orientation, we told them what the job was all about and what they're dealing with. And there was no bones made about it. We didn't hide, no hidden agenda. They were told up front what they'd be cleaning, and they'll be disposing of garbage. And again, still, like I said, the reception was very, very good, and they were very enthusiastic about coming on board.
Clean up, clean up, clean up. I just clean up trains. What's required, you have to greet customers, because the customers are the #1 priority. So we gotta make sure our passengers are safe and the ride is cool and cozy, everything clean, make sure everything good.
We hired students from the city of Chicago that are either attending high school or college. They're from ages 16 and above. And what we do is are using them at the end of our line train stations. There's 11 of them throughout the city on all different routes. And they assist us with the cleaning and picking of papers in the trains on their layover prior to going back into service.
Train pull in, we wait till the passengers get off, we go in, we take, if it's graffiti on the windows, we report it.
We won't let them use any aggressive chemicals to clean graffiti or scrape stickers. We have our regular full-time staff that will take care of that.
I go through each train, pick up trash, and then if you see a mop spill, you have to mop it, or you can sweep it up.
Also, we let them take window cleaner, clean some stains off the windows, and spray deodorizer into our air handling system so the car smells a little fresher before it returns to the service.
The students work 30 hours a week and make $9 an hour. Keeping them in the stations helps keep them busy this summer.
It's also going to expose them to what are the various career opportunities at CTA, and so that they would know as they expand, grow in education, strive for careers, that there are lots of careers at CTA for them to strive for.
They want to work. A lot of them may do things that they're not even asked to do. They do things before you even tell them to do it. They offer a lot of advice. They try to give directions, even though that's not a part of their job description. They see somebody that looks confused, they'll try to help them out or come and get me so I can help.
I learned a lot of stuff that I didn't even, notice on the train. But yes, I was talking to my mom about it the other day, and I was telling her maybe, after college, maybe I'll do this or something. I like platform servicing, so, I'm not the best driver, so I would prefer being the platform servicing like I am now.
Actually, I've gotten a lot of compliments on the work that's being done here from different passengers that work up inside of the airport that come through here every day. They notice a difference. That is major. It's the first thing they see when they get off the plane and come down here to catch a train is the conditions of these trains.
If all the trains are clean and you sitting down, you have the mentality like, I did something good for myself, trains clean, we did that.
It's an excellent thing for riders. The riders get to see how concerned we are to give them a clean product and ride a clean product while they're traveling our system. And I think it's just one step in the right direction of many we hope to take in the future.
They're paying their money for it, so they should ride in a clean environment.
Ultimately, it's all about the riders, and it certainly is. We understand and that our riders deserve, and we expect to give them a clean environment in which to be able to ride on their trip on a daily basis.
I love it. It's a great experience.
In addition to summer jobs, the CTA is also providing tours and seminars on different aspects of the agency so that these students will also learn more about the business world. Just ahead on Connections, a plan to make slow zones go away quicker. How do you save money by taking the CTA?
Well, I have my Chicago card, and that helps a lot because it's a reduced price. And then with the transfers, when you transfer from the bus to the train, it's only 25 cents, so that saves me a lot of money.
It's not a lot of money to take CTA, so it's a better deal than driving. Like if you want to go downtown, it's better.
Just buy my CTA pass every week. That's what I do.
Because I mainly get a monthly pass or a 7 days, so that's less money you have to put in the car for gas.
I only pay $1 one way, and if I take my car, I have to pay a whole lot of money for gas and the parking lot. Because I go downtown, I take a CTA all the time.
It does save money. I buy a one-day fun pass, and I go from morning 8 to evening 8.
If I get on the train, I can just park somewhere where you don't have to pay for a meter, and it saves me a lot of time and headache, especially on a Friday evening. So.
I don't drive, so that's how I save.
Okay. Combining technology and teamwork while delivering dependable, affordable transit. I'm Jean Sparrow. Welcome to Connections. CTA Rapid Transit customers hate to hear the words slow zone. We're traveling through a slow zone right now, and this part of the trip is hardly rapid. But there is good news. There's a new plan in place to accelerate the elimination of slow zones.
It's going to take me about 45 minutes door to door. Now it takes me a little over an hour and a half.
It's very painful, very painful.
CTA President Ron Huberman says he's heard loud and clear from frustrated riders about the speed and reliability of the Blue Line. As a result, he's pushing forward with an aggressive plan to eliminate the slow zones.
People, when it's all said and done, have shared with us that the most important thing for them, besides getting to work safely, is getting to work quickly. And so we're focusing our energy, our time, our resources, and most importantly, our dollars on the elimination of slow zones throughout the system.
The top speed for CTA trains is 55 miles per hour. However, due to old, deteriorating track on the Blue Line, the trains are forced to cut their speed and slow down to 15 miles per hour several times along stretches of the line.
The intent is a commitment to our customers and to safety. A slow zone by its nature says that we have a track condition that exists, that because of it, we have to slow down trains to maintain safety.
The problem on the Blue Line deals with the wooden ties, which hold the rails in place that the train wheels run on. As they age, the wooden ties rot or decay. If the trains go too fast over the damaged ties, they could potentially face a derailment. So, to remedy the situation, the CTA designed a new aggressive plan to rebuild the Blue Line out to O'Hare. The goal is to have the Blue Line fully restored within 15 months. While Blue Line commuters are home asleep, the sounds of jackhammers can be heard blasting through the dark subway tunnels from Grand to Division. The intense labor goes on overnight most weeknights and several weekends, where a section of subway closes for service so crews can have uninterrupted access to complete the work. The replacement work in the subway should be done by mid-September.
What we do is we take out the wood, and in place we put more steel reinforcing in, and we fill the void with concrete, and then we put a special fastener on top of that electrically isolates the running rail.
Here at Chicago Avenue, you can see a section of track that has been repaired. The decayed ties are gone, replaced with concrete. While at the Division stop, this is what the work looks like partially finished.
We're committed to give them a quality trip, and that is, as long as we have resources, we are going to be spending them on improving both the rail and bus system.
Along with the Blue Line, there is also work going on to eliminate slow zones in the Red Line subway. That work is slated to be finished by the end of the year. The CTA wants to remind riders that the subway construction will require some temporary closures over weekends along portions of the line.
Be patient. The work that we're doing will eventually benefit all. Us, making our customers happy, and the customers getting to their destination as soon as possible.
Once we're done with this process and people go through that inconvenience, unfortunately, while we do the work, we will end up with a system that's much more efficient, that's much safer, and will get people to work much faster.
You can get the very latest on slow zone elimination by going online to www.transitchicago.com. On the main page, just click on the scrolling slow zone link. Still to come, technology that helps prevent accidents before they happen. On an average weekday, the CTA provides 1.6 million rides, getting people where they need to go around Chicago and the 40 surrounding suburbs. If you want to hop aboard, here's how to get all the information you need. Online, go to www.transitchicago.com. There you can access bus and train schedules, system maps and brochures, and service updates. You can even use the trip planner. Enter where you want to start, where you want to go, and what time you plan to travel. The trip planner suggests the best route to take. Another option, make the connection by phone. Call 836-7000 from any local area code. The word connection, a link or a spark that brings people together. I'm Jean Sparrow. Welcome to Connections. The CTA is combining the latest technology with proven training techniques to prevent bus accidents. DriveCam is a new driver management program that's being tested now to further enhance safety and reduce accidents.
We believe this is a low-cost solution that will have a high impact on making our bus system safer and on making the CTA fiscally more responsible by reducing the amount of money that we spend on judgment, settlement, and repair costs.
CTA President Ron Huberman announces a new pilot program to test the so-called DriveCam system. DriveCam is a palm-sized audio and video recorder. It is mounted on a bus's interior windshield. Driving behaviors that trigger unusual motion or force are recorded.
So if there's any kind of G-force, a sudden movement on the bus, a sudden acceleration, a sudden deceleration, it always is on, so it's always capturing 10 seconds both before and after an event. It records video and audio looking forward and backwards at all times.
When a bus returns to the garage, information from the recorder is sent to DriveCam's central clearinghouse.
They're downloaded as the buses return to the garage. Then they're electronically sent over the internet to DriveCam. They will look at them when they receive them, and then they will send us the videos of those that we need to review. The DriveCam itself is one of those tools that will allow us to identify those operators earlier on in their career who would benefit from additional instruction and reinforcement before they have an accident.
It's also a tool for operators as well. If an incident happens in the field where they are in the right, so to speak, then there's proof that they were in the right.
The DriveCam system will be tested for 1 year on 300 buses at the Chicago Avenue Garage. It will supplement an already stringent training program that begins with a 25-day training course for new operators.
There's a fundamental philosophical difference between driving a vehicle and operating a vehicle.
CTA bus instructors teach strict adherence to all bus operating procedures. CTA operators undergo 25 days of initial training.
Once they leave us, we observe them for a period of once a month over the course of the next year, and then twice a year, and recertify them on a biannual basis. So we have a lot of contact with our operators.
The recertification training applies to all bus operators, regardless of their experience.
So at every service stop, I want you to curve the bus, use your mirrors just like you would if you were actually curving the bus. Well, it's an 8-hour program, and it's broken up into increments. Again, there will be some classroom, some testing, observation ride with the instructor, practice maneuvers, pre-pull-out inspection, things of that nature.
DriveCam will capture potential problems in the interim.
And if we determine an operator would benefit from additional instruction, we can bring them in. That's different than historically in our business, where people would come in for retraining after they had an accident.
It's just like the simulators that you see, any piece of technology that we can use as a tool to help enhance operation in terms of safety and performing at the optimal level, it's a good idea.
If the DriveCam pilot helps to reduce accidents and related costs at the Chicago Avenue Garage, then the system will be used throughout the CTA bus fleet. Up next, a salute to 2 behind-the-scenes CTA employees.
That's enough. All right. I've got enough. Come on! Oh, you gotta be kidding me! What the heck? Man!
Getting from here to there quickly, easily, and without breaking the bank. I'm Jean Sparrow. Welcome to Connections. If you ride the CTA regularly, you're familiar with vehicle operators and customer assistants. But there are many behind-the-scenes employees who help to make your CTA trips safe and comfortable. CTA switchmen fall into that category, and I want to introduce you to 2 of the very best.
If you're not doing something you like, you don't do it well. That's the bottom line. You gotta like what you're doing.
Kevin Berthold and Charlie Peacock, longtime CTA employees and recent champions in the CTA Rodeo-Switchmen competition.
I've been with the authority now for 15 years. I started out as a conductor, then I became a flagman, an operator, now I'm a switchman. I love it. It's one of the best jobs here.
I've been here going on 22 years. I've been a switchman for a good part of it.
Peacock and Berthold work in the Midway train yard. They are primarily responsible for laying up and putting out the trains.
If it's a rush hour, we're putting out trains. Put out simply means that we're taking 8 cars, put them in for service, making sure that they're cool for the customers, things of that nature.
This is an orange line train to downtown.
Before a train leaves the yard and is taken to a station platform, the switchman makes sure all systems are functioning properly. That includes doors, windows, air conditioning, and heating.
I check it in the yard, and then I check it as I walk through on the platform.
Switchmen also bring trains back into the yard at the end of service. That's called laying up a train.
Operators bring the train to the platform. At that particular time, we go to the platform, we walk through the train, make sure passengers not left behind, that they didn't leave any valuables behind.
Once in the yard, switchmen add to or cut down the number of cars in a train.
Now, rush hour, we use primarily everything in the yard. And after the rush hour, the switchmen are responsible for cutting down the cars. We call it cutting it down. They're uncoupling cars.
Rail yards are full of potential hazards, such as electrified third rails and rolling train cars. Each car weighs more than 27 tons. That's why there are always two people working the switch team.
One man down, one man up. And this to ensure the safety of both parties involved.
If he's on the move, I'm there to make sure nothing happens to him, that he's safe, he comes back safely. Same thing for him.
Switchmen work in all weather, under all conditions. And when weather causes problems to the CTA's mechanical switching systems, it's the switchmen who are called in to manually throw the switches and keep the trains running.
When something goes wrong, that's when we work. And we can't stop until it's fixed.
It's nothing that you can ask them to do that they won't do for you, even if it's a sacrifice for them. Sometimes it's time for them to get off and I say, hey guys, I need you to do this. I have no problem.
The Peacock Berthold team were tough competitors during the CTA rodeo competition. But on a day-to-day basis, there's no competition with their colleagues, just cooperation.
There's the glory. If we all doing a good job, then there's the glory. Everybody gets a pat on the back.
CTA employees are currently preparing for the next round of competition for the 2007 Transit Jamboree. The Jamboree brings together employees in a friendly competition to highlight their career skills. A CTA station is often at the center of a community, and now more and more CTA stations are becoming places for art lovers too. The twin sculptures installed at the Kimball Station are the work of artist Josh Garber, whose studio is located directly under the L tracks. The artist designed with a flower in mind.
One is that it's a flower form, which is a metaphor for growth and optimism. The community that the sculpture will be placed in is Albany Park. And I did some research there and found out that there's 128 different nationalities. There's a lot of refugees. It's a functional sculpture. People can sit on the leaves. The bottom of the sculpture slopes out like 4 leaves.
In addition to the Kimball Station, the Arts in Transit program is currently installing public art at other renovated Brown and Red Line stations. At the 47th Street station, stained glass above casts a colorful shadow on the walkway below. And at the 69th Street station, sculpted panels depict a variety of African American scenes. The project is funded by the Federal Transit Administration. Connections is now available on demand 24 hours a day. You can now subscribe to the Connections video podcast and automatically receive each month's program absolutely free. There are several ways to find us. Go to www.transitchicago.com and click on Connections. You can also go directly to the iTunes Music Store and search the words CTA Connections. You can either choose a specific episode for instant viewing, or you can subscribe once and automatically download new shows each month. Like all video podcasts, Connections can be viewed directly on your computer or laptop, or can be viewed on a portable device such as the Video iPod. Traveling in and around Chicago on the CTA saves you time and money. I'm Jean Sparrow. Welcome to Connections. You know, we're always looking for story suggestions. Do you have a travel secret you'd like to share? How about a hidden Chicago gem that's served by the CTA? We want to hear about it. Give us a call at the Connections Hotline, 312-681-2812. Helping you make your connections. I'm Jean Sparrow.
Thanks for watching.